Hi, welcome back. And yes, this is swatches and a first impression on the Beauty Tree's professional blush and contour palette. I know lots of you asked me for swatches on my page and even here when I hold this palette. So if you like to see swatches and my first impression on this palette, please keep on watching. Alright, so this is what it comes packaging. There are 20 pans of product, and I can tell you some seem to be highlighting, some seems to be blushes, and then you have like bronzers or maybe even peachy colors. So it's come packaged in this box, very simple but rather detailed, because the brand is here, what it is, which is professional blush and contour palette is here. It says highlight, accentuate and define. So it tells you that it's more than just blush. It's other things like contour, and you definitely get to do some accentuating and highlighting, etc. So it's a combination of matte and shimmer face powders packaged in a sleek package, and it's awesome because it's cruelty free and it has a shelf life that ends in 2018, so 12/20/18, which I think is absolutely awesome because it's like, let's see, we're in 2014, like 4.5 years. So I think this is perfect for makeup artists, or if you don't have a lot of blush. Okay, so if you're not like me, then this is good for you if you just want a wide variety of blushes, highlights and contour all in one, and just get a variety. I think this is totally awesome. It will last you, if you take care of it and don't be clumsy like me and throw it out, it should last you that 4 years. And so it comes in bubble wrap, which is totally cool. And then this is what the actual palette looks like. It's a kind of shiny plastic, but if your fingers are like dirty and it smears on it, all you have to do is take a wipe and wipe it, and it will wipe pretty much clean off. It reminds me a lot of the palettes like the 88 and all those kind of palettes. However, this one is much larger. Those are a bit smaller, maybe come somewhere like this. So it is bigger than that, those palettes, but it feels like it does not feel heavy and weighty. You can hold it in one hand. And why I'm actually saying that is because for those of you who are makeup artists, you want a palette that you can hold in your hand and use in a client, as against you have to chuck it up or rest it somewhere to use it. So just like the powdered palette, which I will also do a review on, you have a button here that you click, and you must hear that click for you to know that you can open it. When you open it, you do get a clear plastic. Does have a decent sized mirror, which like I said, most of the 88s have, but they're supposed to be sponge tip applicators. However, I got none in mine, and my box appeared to be sealed and not tampered with. I wasn't quite bothered, quite frankly, because I don't ever use those sponge tip applicators. So these are what the colors look like. The pan size seems to be almost around the same size of your MAC eyeshadows. I do think they look a little smaller, larger than the La Femme, and I am getting a scent from it. And if you have any other Beauty Trees palettes, you would know that there is like a powdery, I don't even have to go close to it, a powdery kind of scent. I am seeing that the highlighters that we have matte and shimmer, contour seem to be matte, shimmer and maybe satin, and then you have blushes that are matte with shimmers and what appears to be satin. And I absolutely love that, because there are times that I want a little shimmer, and there are lots of times that I want matte on my face. Have large pores, which I actually am able right now to work on to get rid of a little bit. My hair, of course, I pulled it back, but now my head is hurting. But back to the palette. Yeah, I have large pores, so that I really want to minimize in terms of highlighting, having too much shimmers. I like natural highlights, but I also like to look radiant and glowing and all that good stuff. So I do like that there is a variety of variation. You do get here your some pale peach rose color into some pinks, some oranges, a little terracotta, your red, coral, pink, pinky purple, mauve. I love the variety and variation in this. You get a wide range of color selection, and you get a wide range in terms of your finishes. And if you're not a person to like matte, there are satin and shimmer colors here. Similarly with the contour, I find that the contour colors look as if they would be good enough even for darker skin tones, like whereas the powders, I know it ranges maybe just a little darker than a tan. And with the highlight, you have a corrective yellow, which it's gonna be great for under eye to set concealer and even highlight. Then you have your shimmers, then there's also that beige and blah blah blah. I think so far from just looking at this palette, presentation wise, that it seems really amazing. So let's get on to the swatches, right? So I'm going to do the highlighting colors first, just because, well, they are the lighter colors, and that's the 4 on this side. So this is that first color there, and it seems to be a very frosty shimmery white, yeah, more like an ivory color, and it has, I'm thinking, some flecks in it. Then this is the yellow, that is a matte yellow, reminds me a lot of my corrective yellow from my e.l.f. high definition powder. It is like that kind of yellow as against the banana powder yellow, which has like a warmer undertone to it, where this is just full blown yellow. Then we have this kind of champagne color, which is also matte, and they seem pretty finely milled. And then this darker color here, which is like a nude color, which appears in the pan to have little shimmers, but once swatch it almost appears to be matte. So you have the 4 highlight colors, where this one is really champagne and pigmented. Alright, so the other 3 colors that are pretty much matte colors do appear to almost have no pigmentation, but that's fine, because when you're setting it, you want the powders to be so finely milled and blend into the skin that it will appear to be, you know, to sink in well and blend well. So I did a second swatch. This last color here does seem to have some shimmers coming out through it, so you want to be careful if you have large pores to accentuate it here. So I'm going to just jump straight onto the contour and just leave the blushes to be the last here. So this seems to be the last row here, which seems to have some of the contour colors. This one appears to have some shimmer in it, and it seems really soft. Then this is a darker bronzy color. Oh my gosh, this is so pigmented and beautiful. You can even use this for your eyes. I'm seeing that. And for those of you who like to bronze all over your face and have that radiant glow, that glowing goddess color, this is going to be totally awesome. The next color seems to be satin, and this looks like another amazing color that you can use for eyeshadows. Wow. And then the last color, yes. So I do think that the color range is going to work for darker skin tones. So yeah, you do have a wide range of colors here than the powders. And these first 2 have shimmers on them, and the middle one, of course, has more shimmery colors, or at the middle, the second. And then these last 2 are satin as against matte, and they're super pigmented. I really like them, and I do think this one here would work for me, and this would be for darker skin tones. But again, I guess I can try to mix it and make them work. But I am really happy so far with the highlight colors and the contour. I'm glad that these are matte, really, because one shimmer really would work great, and this again would be gorgeous as a face, as an eye highlighter, or even all over the lid kind of color. So let's get on to the blushes. So in swatching the blushes, I'm gonna go with the rows of 4. I'm going to use my 4 fingers. So we have this pale peach color that seems to have shimmers, but it's almost transparent matte. And I think, yeah, I'm seeing that it's like almost seems to be an overlay. Then we have this kind of coral color. Oh, that's gorgeous. Then a kind of, oh, okay, so this is more like a peachy coral. This is like a really balm out in your face. This color reminds me of Vivid Rose lipstick. Is it? Yeah, Vivid Rose, I think it is. Lipstick from Milani, and it's satin. Then this fuchsia color, oh my god, this reminds me of all the lip colors that I like. Yeah, it's going almost with my lip color. So these are blushes, yes, and I am overwhelmed right now with the color payoff that I am getting. Okay, they are applying a little softer to the touch now that I am swatching, and they seem to have a bit of a stain to them. Let's wipe it off of my fingers. Yes, they do have a stain, so I will definitely need to wet my fingers with a wipe and then use this to see. Wow. So those 4 colors, especially the red, the more vibrant color, that and the fuchsia had a bit of stain to it. So then we have this other second row, the peachy colors. That's first row, second row, third row. So that's a pale peachy color. Then you have more of a peach, and these appear to be pretty matte. We have an orange, and then this shimmer here looks like a terracotta. So that's the next set. These 3 are matte, and then this one here has shimmer in it. Okay, so the matte seems to be a bit chalky. The orange is not even coming out so great, and the terracotta, I said that's terracotta, seems to be there. It has shimmer in it. So I'm just trying to layer this because they're matte, and you know how matte colors go. Alright, so that's them there. Pretty pigmented still in itself. They didn't really stain except that last color that did have some shimmer to it. This row is not as impressive as the first one, but they appear to be a bit chalky, the matte colors, and I know that sometimes you can build it up or you can use a base. So let's go with the last row, which has more like that rose kind of color. This seems to be a bit mauvey, yes, and this might be an awesome transition color for some individuals. And then it's more like a pinky rose. Then we have a plummy color. Wow, that's like so pigmented. Can you see that last color? Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so this row again, we have like satin colors, and they're carrying the transfer very well. So that row is super pigmented. So that's the last row. 12 colors right there, and they do have a fallout, so I just blew my hand. They do have a bit of a fallout to them. In reviewing or giving you my first impression with these, because I have not used them on my faces yet, is that there is some fallout in the matte color, like this middle row here. These 3 are full-on mattes. There's 3 full-on mattes, and they don't have a great transfer. They appear to be powdery, chalky, with fallouts. The first row I did notice though here, this row that I'm pulling, the first row did apply very well, and so did this last row here of blushes. Just that middle one is not my favorite. Is that peachy orange color, which is really gorgeous for darker skin tones or tan skin. But all in all, they seem to have, and middle row I did do a second layer of swatching, and that's what I got. So I am really so far impressed. It's just $90 TT, which is less. It's about maybe 13 to 14 US dollars. Let's just say 14 US dollars. I think for 20 pounds of product, that's $14. It's not even $1 US a piece, and this is amazing. I think this should be almost like a no-brainer in terms of purchasing. If you are the makeup artist, definitely like a no-brainer. This is something that you would need. That's something that you would use. Fully pigmented. If you are starting off in makeup and you want to get highlighters and contours and blushes, just don't want to have a whole set of stuff, this is the palette for you. Rather than go and buy a £10 blush palette, definitely recommend. However, the cons are, if you don't have a base, a creamy base or a gel base to apply some of the matte colors, you may not get a really great pigmentation, especially if you are a darker skin tone. What I could recommend, maybe to even curb that, is to apply the blush after you apply your foundation. That's like liquid or cream foundation. Apply the blush on first, and then put your setting powder. In that way it will have something to stick to. Or something I do sometimes, if you have like concealer, you can just tap it with a stippling brush and stipple it on and then put on your blush. But when you put on the blush, you definitely need to use a light hand. And highlight wise, I think it's great. This palette in itself I would rate a 4.75. just that the matte colors are a little bit, you know, less desirable, but I think it's all still workable with. It's pretty light and decent. It is a little bit bulky, some people may say, but I think because you get 20 product pans of product in here, I think it's a pretty decent size. I can't say enough good things. I do think it's an awesome palette. If you are darker skin tone, you can still rock this and make this work. The blushes are worth, forget contour and highlight, the blushes, the 12 blushes are so worth just getting this palette for. If you however do have issue with scented products, you're gonna die, because the minute you open this palette, sometimes even if you just open the box, you get the scent. The scent does transfer a bit onto my hand. I am smelling it, but generally I find that once I apply it onto my face and I'm ready to head out the door, I don't get that issue of the scent traveling with me. So that's the only thing. The scent is really pungent. Initially when you open the product, you will smell it, and if you are working on a client, the client will smell it initially, but once you can get past that, you're good to go. I really like this, would recommend this. Budding makeup artists, individuals who are collectors like myself, this is an awesome palette to keep. I am gonna definitely recommend this to my girlfriends who are makeup artists, even if they have a lot of eyeshadows. Some of the colors are very comparable to La Femme, like these here, and even this the couple of these colors here, pigmentation wise, I think it's very comparable. I think some of these are even better than MAC eyeshadows, which are, in my opinion, a little bit overrated. You guys, but this is an awesome palette. I definitely recommend you to get it. I think if I see it again, I definitely am going to pick up for a giveaway, so look out. I have a giveaway going on right now for my 1000 subbies, and you want to check that out. But I think I'm definitely going to pick this up for future giveaways, because I think it's really awesome product to have in your collection. So thanks so much. That was highly requested. I hope I was able to answer your questions. Any other questions that I did not target, please leave it in the comment below. By the time this video is uploaded, I would have used some of this product on my face, so maybe I can give you that. I am, you know, that taking it, but I plan to do that part of this review on my blog, which I need to work on, like being a little more active than it is. So definitely look out for my in use of this product review on my blog page. So all of those stuff will be in the description bar below. But thanks again so much for watching.